YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again. It is Friday. It is our big show today. We got a lot to talk about. Great games across the board. Week 16. Joined as always, Stu. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Had one of my favorite games of the year last night. Just an absolute banger. I won some bets, so that obviously makes it a little bit better when you win some money, you have a good night, and the game is fucking awesome. It just kind of connects like that. So yeah, last night was killer. Feeling good vibes still from that. And like you said, look at this weekend slate. It's a good one. We got a lot of good games, a lot of important games. As the season, dwindles down. So excited to get into it, excited to answer some questions and hopefully win a couple more bets.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it was a phenomenal game last night. Feeling good yesterday was, I think, good for both of us. So obviously we feel good heading into today. Show obviously did very well. We're 19.56 units. We're right on that 20 unit mark. After last night's sweep there as well. And we'll get into that. We got people trickling in, so we'll talk a little bit here. But yeah, man, it was one of those games that just kind of looked like it was going to be kind of mellowing out a little bit when it got to 30-14. I guess, yeah, give me your thoughts on the game. Obviously, as a Seattle Seahawks futures ticket holder from the beginning of the season, I talked about them they should not have lower odds in Arizona. And you look at Arizona in the basement there, and Seattle's the 1 seed in the NFC. So feels good even that we have a chance this late in the season. But anything you want to talk about from that game last night?
No, yeah, that was awesome. Obviously, I'm with you on the Seattle division stuff. So it kind of was the perfect outcome. I will say, though, I think after watching that game, I think the Rams are the best team in football. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, tough breaks, the special teams from Shaheed showing up again, even when he didn't quite do it in the box score, been absolutely huge in the special teams department there. But man, the Rams came out there and they made one of the best defenses in football, top 3 defense, look like they did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a couple weeks ago when they went out there and marched all over. It was like effortless. Like when they were on offense and they were controlling the pace of the game, it was fantastic. It was beautiful. You know what I mean? It was one of the best play callers in football, cooking, doing what he does best. Obviously, on the show, we talked a lot about the heavy personnel, the multiple tight end sets, and that came on display. They ran more 13 personnel than any team in the last 20 years, which means likely in the modern era ever. And they just cooked. And obviously, they kept the ball away from Seattle as well. They ran the ball well. But then once Seattle did come in, they showed up, especially in that last drive, of the game. So just a banger, absolute banger. 2 awesome teams looking great. Seattle did lose some secondary guys as the game went on, especially late. Eamon going out is definitely tough. You got to monitor that going forward. But yeah, just a killer game, great showing from both sides, and I'm glad our boys got the win in the end right there.
Yeah, it was perfect, absolutely perfect way to finish it. Unfortunately for me, I was texting you last night. I was like, are we really going to get the Kenneth Walker game, bro? I start him in every fucking week, and he was dog shit. Fucking horrible. This dude's been fucking horrible. Like, no other words around it. And, of course, catches a 50-yard pass on the first fucking play. It was just like, are we really going to do this? Did bench him. I benched him this week. I fucking almost started Audric Ostame over him, bro. Like, I'm not like, is this dude fucking trash? Kenneth Walker's like been trash. Then goes for 160 total yards. I'm like, bro, where the hell has this been? And against that defensive line, you're gonna do this? Like, really? It was infuriating. I benched Charbonnet in a league because I didn't see the Devin Neal IR news until late, so I didn't switch Charbonnet in. So I'm eating that. So luckily for me, the only person I played against was the one guy who did nothing, and that was Colby Parkinson, who was just absolutely dreadful, who dropped like 3 balls. So our arch nemesis in our fantasy league, in my buddy league, we do it if you win back-to-back. If you win back-to-back years, you get we put an extra $10 in the pot every year. So it's an extra $100 every year. We're on the I think 11th year of the league. So if he would have won this year again, we would have won. He would have won $1,100, and it just keeps growing because no one's ever won back to back. And he was just killing everybody this year. And then, of course, he goes up against Puka and Stafford and gives up 120 from two dudes, which was just crazy, man. So if you played against Nakua, I'm sorry. If you played against Stafford, a little uphill battle. So I'm just pissed because my best ball lineup had both of them in there, and I got eliminated. I took second last week, and I'm like, dude, if I would have made it through, I'd be just freaking cooking so far. But it is what it is. That's how fantasy works, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely support group for those that did play Tua in fantasy, or not Tua, sorry, Puka in fantasy. That was obviously, you're probably cooked. You're probably looking at the weekend going, yeah, I'm not going to win this one. But yeah, luckily I didn't have much at all for fantasy stuff there. I know Kenneth Walker was a big one for a lot of people. Obviously, if you made it this far, you probably have enough depth where there's like a flex you probably liked more than him and you probably played him. And now you probably feel kind of shit because it was a tough matchup. And we just saw Kenneth Walker be very bad for 2 straight weeks. So, that's football though. You know what I mean? That's why we, buy low on the show so much is like, just when you're never going to expect it, when the volume isn't even there, you're just going to break off a big one. And he looked real good. That's what he does. He's a home run hitter,
Yeah, I feel bad. My wife is, like I said, we both got to win this week to make it to the championship against each other, and she played against Kenneth Walker, of course. Played against Kenneth Walker and JSN. I'm like, oh, man, maybe it'll make up for it because JSN's done shit. And then the whole second half, he just cooks them. Did have Jason Myers, though. I think only had 2 points. Like, what are the odds? Like, probably every person like Jason Myers probably in every fantasy playoff still, bro. And then he puts up a fucking dud like that after leading the NFL in scoring. So tough spot to be a Jason Myers fantasy owner there because he put up 30 last week. So and then to come back and give you that type of performance kind of hurts you this quick.
I just want to point out that my every year strategy of not even drafting a kicker or defense works almost every single year. Because someone's going to either have to drop a good kicker during a bye week because you don't have, shit other choices or whatever, dropping their defense or whatever during a bye week. Like, man, I ended up the year with the Texans defense and fucking Cam Little, who's going in elevation, one of the biggest boots in the league. So I'm just saying, unless you're getting Aubrey, don't draft kickers. Just wait till the end. Someone's going to have to drop a good one and you swoop right in. And also, no one actually knows how to draft kickers either because who the fuck's spending time? So people just pick the highest ADP guy that's available. Normally, there's actually just a good option on the fucking waiver wire as well. But this isn't a fantasy show. I just figured I'd take a random victory lap for my, picking up kickers through the year.
Yeah, I gotta give my one last shout out to Cameron Dicker because he was definitely worth my pick this year. That dude's been a fucking tank. Dude's a fucking tank.
He's probably on half of the fantasy fucking pickup lists in leagues over the course of the year, though.
I didn't drop him. I kept him.
I know you didn't.
I have to, bro. He's my Dicker the kicker is gonna be on this roster, and he's actually carried me these last 2 weeks, which is sad. That's how bad the rest of the team is. But let's get to last night's plays. We had obviously Seattle get the job done there. We a little scary here with JSN putting up a big old fat goose egg in the first half, but did get the job done. He did end up cashing Puka with 250, whatever it was. JSN ended up with 100. So obviously he didn't. JSN's like, I can't let somebody be ahead of me in the season long passing or receiving yards because Nakua passed him for a little bit there. And then obviously JSN made sure that didn't happen for too long, put up almost 100 yards. So a little sweatier than I expected. I felt very good about this play. But hey, got the job done.
Man, I mean, I was in the same. I had JSN 6 catches too. So if you thought you were cooked, I thought I was super cooked, at halftime with 0 because he can get a big play, but getting that many. But, they battled back. They had some slightly longer drives as opposed to just Kenneth Walker insta-bomb touchdowns, both on the ground and through the air. So luckily it extended enough. They fought enough, and JSN, covered everything in the end, which was awesome. It's what you do. It's in my write-up for it. I wrote, it was like, it would take like an avalanche for JSN to not get like 10 targets in this game because it's happened every game this year, except that when they beat the crap out of Minnesota so bad that Brosmer couldn't even complete like 2 passes. So love this. Puka obviously just doing Puka things. He probably had a 70-yard catch in that game. And yeah, just awesome stuff all around. Nice, a little more sweaty than expected on the JSN side, but got the job done. Made it more fun,
Yeah, what I will say too is the Rams pretty much dropped their fucking defensive tackle in coverage because they just knew didn't matter where JSN was, Darnold was going to find a way to throw him the fucking ball, and got 2 picks off it because Darnold just does the same shit. And that's why it's like, I'm happy that they're leading the division. I am not taking any playoff fucking odds on them by any means because fuck, dude, that was a really horrible first half from Darnold. Like that was
well, and my biggest problem is they also can't really run the ball that well. So you're actually fully depending on Darnold to get it done. But then in this game, as you could tell, they didn't really trust him until they needed to in the very end. And it was, pass only situations. Like in the first half, his average air yards was like 1. Like it was just check down. Like you don't do that with a quarterback you trust, and you got to trust him when he's your whole offense. And they wanted to play action. They're a really heavy play action team, but they don't run the ball that well. So they really need to start running play action without running, just instant play action. But yeah, we'll see. But they're a frustrating offensive team. While on the other side, the Rams just kind of did whatever they wanted.
Yeah, first team I think ever that had 500 total yards, +3 in turnover differential and lost ever.
Wow,
what are the odds of that?
That's crazy.
And then obviously we get to circle on the quarter unit touchdown winner here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was fired up. I was big Ferguson guy. I had yards. I had everything touchdown. So I was fired up. And man, this guy's good. Like this guy, I watched a lot of Ferguson because obviously when you don't have that box score production, like you want to be curious why. And he got hurt by some penalties and some overthrows and stuff. But this dude, in my opinion, if we're drafting tight ends, like as a franchise, like he's a top 10 tight end, in my opinion. And it'll be sooner than that or higher than that pretty soon. Like when I watch Ferguson, it's not quite Trey McBride level, but his athleticism, he's a wide receiver. They were lining him up as a wide receiver. And he's beating, corners and one-on-one safeties. And like, I don't know, it's just a mismatch out there. And you don't see too many guys that can do that. And then also over the last 3 weeks, PFF's highest graded run blocker at the tight end position as well. So this guy's like really fucking legit. Like if you're a dynasty guy or whatever, I would definitely be interested right here. Higbee's season contract is up after the year. Parkinson, they could get an out if they wanted to. Like, man, this guy is fucking legit. So I'm glad he could break out when I had the bets on him in primetime. It feels good when you're on a guy like that and he actually gets the job done. Because even early when he only had 2 for 6 with the touchdown, he had 1 called back, thanks to that penalty. And then still he's wide open on half these plays down the field. Just there's other guys open as well, which is obviously a testament to, McVay. So shout out Ferguson. Dude's a weapon out there. Prices are probably going to be a little worse next week, but, this dude's a tank.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Should be a fun last couple weeks in this NFC West. As I believe we're going to see the Rams they have like the Cardinals and some other dog shit team. So they should win out. And then the Niners, I believe, are 2 games behind, and they have to play Seattle in San Francisco. So that'll be a pretty wild one there. So should be fun. Hopefully Amenwari's healthy. I think he had 11 tackles, and he didn't play the fourth quarter or overtime.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy.
I wanted to pull tackles. I'm mad I didn't. It was like 5.5, and then it got hit to 6.5. And that's when I was like, okay, it's too high now. But dude is a beast.
The thing is we talk about tackle props on here quite a bit, and I play them a lot. Like, you can't plan for defensive or special teams touchdown, a return all the way down to like the 1 yard line on an interception. Like, just crazy game, dude. Just like so many things there had to go crazy. Like, I know we were talking about Landman after the show. His line was like 11.5. He had like 6 because the Rams just weren't on defense that much. They just were not on defense that much. The Seattle Seahawks had 3 dudes over 10 tackles, bro. Like, that's crazy to have that many plays and that many opportunities. Because obviously the Rams pretty much dominated all yardage stuff, which is wild in a loss.
100%. It was wacky, but I mean that's what made it fun. That's what made it fun, and they delivered a banger. So shout out to both squads. That was one of the better, I think, the best game of the year in my opinion.
Yeah, crazy, especially with what was on the line. Shout out to the Drake Bulldog catching the freaking 2-point conversion. That's crazy to see. So Sauber is from Drake. And I thought, I'm like, did anybody even know Drake has a football team, bro? Like, everybody just knows it for basketball.
I didn't.
Yeah, does anybody even know? Because everybody knows it for basketball. But shout out to him for making that big play. We move up to almost 20 units, guys. We're at 19.5 units. We got 20 of you guys here with us over on YouTube. We appreciate you guys continuing to support us here over on the channel. And hopefully we can continue to win you guys some money. It's been a pretty crazy week overall, and hopefully we can continue to cash some tickets with you guys. Stu, let's get into it, man. We can talk about Saturday games as well if you want to talk about those for the dogs. We can obviously include those in there as well. We got 2 games tomorrow. Obviously, by Packers Bears, this entire line has moved 4 points on that one. But what's your game of the week? Big screen game, and let me get right into these.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would say there's a lot of good games. I'll save the big screen one for the one I'll talk about with my dog instead, and I'll just say Packers Bears because obviously that's on tomorrow. That's just going to be a banger division rivalry game. 2 teams that we just saw match up pretty recently. 2 run heavy teams as well. And how do the Packers kind of adjust after, those injuries hit him? It looks like Christian Watson's going to play still, which is obviously good for their offense. I think Zach Tom won't, but I don't know if we know 100%. I think it's still up in the air. And then obviously no Parsons. So it'll be interesting. I'm curious if the Packers can hold on in this one. I'm curious if they can stabilize after dealing with injuries like that. And the Bears have the momentum, in just general. In the second half of the year, they've been running the ball well. And I think the Bears should win this game, theoretically, given what's happened to the Packers. But that should be just a good game, good old football game,
Yeah, I think I'm going to go into the it's probably the Sunday night game for me. We're seeing Drake May against big bad Lamar Jackson. Ravens outside of last week really haven't looked that good. And now they're 3-point favorites against everybody's darling and this Patriots team. It's probably because they're actually playing somebody with a fucking pulse who doesn't suck. And they blew the game last week. I'd like to see what happens here with these guys in this matchup. But I think that would be my game of the week outside of, obviously, the Packer game. Yeah, I'm curious how that game goes. I'm going to be Dunze and Burden out. They have no receivers. They don't really throw into their receivers, honestly, anyway, these last couple weeks. So it's all tight ends, all running backs. I don't really know what else to go off of there. I don't see DJ Moore doing shit. He was horrible against them the first game. So sounds like more Emmanuel or Edgerrin Cooper for me.
Yeah, Loveland lines are real high as well, like 46, I think. It's probably going to get to 50, I bet. And that's just tough because the Packers have good safety play. They're pretty good over the middle. I would say Zacchaeus is most interesting to me, honestly. He's just a zone beater, and they play a ton of zone on the other side. So that would probably be where I would lean. But yeah, I think they're just going to run the ball a shit ton. I mean, they have to. They can run on pretty much anyone. I don't know why they wouldn't be able to have success against the Packers here. So I would definitely be looking at the run game. And yeah, I'm very concerned about pass catchers on both sides. I had Jayden Reed last week. I want to go back to Jayden Reed this week, but I'm like, is it just going to be Jacobs 20 times? And then it's going to be Swift and Monungai 15 each on the other side? Like that could make it real tough for pass catchers in general. But yeah, I like Zacchaeus if I had to pick a pass catcher in the game, or Reed, obviously. Reed.
Awesome. Time to get to dogs of the week. 15-8 on the year, guys. We are cooking over there. Stu, where are you going this week? Obviously, Saturday doesn't get included here on that.
Well, you don't have to worry about me taking Washington. Definitely not going to do that. No, I'm not going to Saturday. I'm going to your boys, who actually just got up to +3. I'm going to the Panthers at +3. I'm surprised that that's still +3. I would probably be more like 1.5 right there. The Panthers I've watched a lot of Panthers. One, because I've been Ben Bryce Young under pass completions, which means it's a full game sweat. You're in the fucking drive. Every time he passes, you go, oh my God, why are we doing that? He's looked pretty good passing the ball. Like, I'm watching these and I'm going, okay, like, I see why they're passing here. I see why it's not just Dowdle 5,000 times. And honestly, I think you can do both against Tampa Bay. It's easier to throw the ball on Tampa Bay. And Bryce, with Tet healthy, he's off the injury report. He should be out there playing. I think they're going to be able to do enough on offense to control the clock for a decent amount of the game. And I think they're going to be able to score. The Buccaneers defense, especially in the red zone, is not very good. And honestly, I know Tampa Bay did look better on offense. That's the big thing with Evans back. I think they will be a better offense for the rest of the season than what we've seen recently. But I just think Carolina can keep up with what we've seen from this Buccaneers defense. Like, I just think that play action games look good. I think Dowdle's going to have another pretty good game here. There's just enough. Like, 3 is too much. This is one of the biggest games of the year, obviously. Everything comes down to this with both of these two teams. And they play again, I believe, too, right? This is first of 2. If I'm not mistaken, right here. So it's clutch up time. You got to win these division games, and I think Carolina is going to put up a pretty good fight here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Obviously, I don't know if you can call my boys at +3. I feel like they're my boys at like 11 and 14, because that's where I was betting them last year. I was getting these dudes at like 11.5. Anytime there were double digits, I grabbed them, and I saw another double digit.
Sucked last year, though. They were so at least they're kind of good now, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But now, if you notice, I haven't bet on them at all.
Yeah, I think like early in the year, you might have had them once.
Yeah, I had a couple, and they were still like, "Oh, Bryce Young's still your quarterback." But I'm going to roll with the Browns +10.5. I absolutely don't think a lick of offense getting moved by the Browns. I'm just hoping Quinchon 30 carries is going to happen here. I like the under in the game. My issue is can the Browns front slow down James Cook? Pretty much is what I think is going to happen here. I'm not a big fan of this Bills passing game that much anymore, bro. Like, it just hasn't done that much for me for them to cover this big of a number. Like 10.5. I mean, this is just DraftKings. I'm sure you can probably find it higher. I didn't line shop. I'm sure you probably get 11.5 somewhere as well, because who the fuck else is betting the Browns? But you do have Myles Garrett, just a one-man wrecking crew. Schlesinger should be getting defensive rookie of the year votes there as well. So, he's going to be coming out still firing, still playing for something there. A lot of young guys on the offense as well. Like I said, I have really no faith in Shedeur at all, but hopefully they just take the ball out of his hands and run the damn football. I mean, that's the one thing that the Bills have been susceptible to this year. Give that guy the damn ball. I'm hoping Batoni is back, or Batono, however you say it. I don't remember their best offensive lineman. Hopefully he's back, and just make this the ugliest game possible. Just kind of how the Browns beat the Packers, where it was just like within 2 points or within one possession. Keep it there, and then if a miracle happens at the end, it happens. If not, we're still covered.
Yeah, I like that Schlesinger tackles thing you mentioned, or him just defensive player, the rookie of the year. Sorry, he's -300, but yeah, I think he's going to be out there a ton. I like that they're going to run a ton. My biggest thing is I would like this if it was the Browns of 2 weeks ago, but the injury report has killed these guys. Collins in the middle. Losing him really crushed them. They were arguably a top 3, top 5 rush defense before losing Collins. And after, obviously, Tony Pollard ran all over him. Like, I'm a little more worried. James Cook and the Bills have ran on everybody this year. So I kind of think, even though you said that you don't want to depend on Shedeur, I think you kind of got to. Because the good thing is the Bills, not choke in the second half. They just don't care in these higher. So they do let teams back in. But I just think you gotta see if Shedeur can cook his way back in, because their O-line and their D-line are banged up, and that's just a brutal combination. Because how are you going to run with the O-line? I mean, I know the Bills are really bad at stopping the run, but you don't have an O-line either. So, and Judkins sees the most stacked boxes in football. Obviously, he'll probably continue to see the most stacked boxes in football. So I don't know. I still think they probably could run a bit, but I don't know. I just wish it was the Browns healthy from a couple weeks ago. I would like that a lot more than this current Collins-less offensive line fucked up Browns team,
Yeah, and this is just a straight look ahead too, bro. You got the Eagles next week.
Very true.
Like, I don't think they give a fuck. If they're up 14 in the fourth quarter, bring in Dylan Gabriel and get that cover, right? That's what we got to do. That would just start the biggest fucking thing in the world. Oh, my God. I'd be here for it, to be honest, at this point. That place is a fucking joke. The place is a fucking joke. Let's take a look at some of the chat. We got quite a few of you guys in here. I do know Paul is a Rams fan, so I'm assuming that's why I'm seeing some paragraphs in there about the 2 point. I'll let you talk about it a little bit here because I knew it was going to come up at some point, but I knew Paul was going to be the one in there. What do you think? Because it was backwards. It was. So that's the tough part.
I just figured we talked so much about it already. I didn't know if people wanted to hear about this one. But yeah, to me, I didn't look super deep. It seems like bullshit, obviously, from what Paul said. It seems like the game should not be officiated like that. I've never seen a play like that. I don't know if anyone's ever seen a play like that, officiated like that. So what I do is I root for the most fun outcome. And that was the most fun outcome. And unfortunately, you got fucked by it. That's really my only commentary. It's like I don't know what to say. Like it seemed like it should not have been officiated like that. Like you said, it was backwards, but the play itself, like it looked dead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just like, what happened here? So I don't know. I'm glad they ruled it the way it did because that led to more fun, and I was rooting for fun. But I am sorry to any Rams guys because that was obviously weird as hell. Just weird as hell.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to say it all came down to that because it didn't. I mean, they had them on a 3rd and 9 or 10 when Cooper Kupp caught that ball on the sideline, right? I think that was a 3rd down. Like, you gave that up. Like, as much as I don't want to rub it in, like, I'm not rubbing it. All I'm saying is, like, there were other points in the game that they had really good opportunities to just finish them off. So unfortunately, it doesn't all end on one play. I get it. I'd be mad too if it was my team, but it was weird because it was backwards. And who's the ref on the Amazon Prime one? Because he is so much better than what's his face on Fox. God, I just want him to just take that dude's job so I never have to hear that Fox's voice anymore.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I will say the final thing, the commentary, man, so bad again. I know everyone's talking about Michael.
Dude,
man,
so bad. I had to bring this up. Thank you so much for bringing that up.
It's like sad bad. Like it's
Al Michaels is dead, bro. That dude's fucking brain dead, dude.
It's been all year. It's like they cannot let him do this again next year. Honestly, they should have mid-season yanked him. But really, the best game of the year, you're still getting the same. Oh, over the middle, Puka, touchdown, Rams. Like,
that's not the worst. Hey, I have to one up you on this because I'm sitting here and I'm watching. I get to watch the second half. I'm watching the second half, and my wife's watching it with me because obviously she didn't want to watch the first half because that's too much football. I'm watching Thursday. I'm watching Saturday. I'm watching Sunday. Packers are on Saturday, so I have to watch it. But the fact that he brought up how much the kicker weighed, I was fucking dead, bro. Al, shut the fuck up. I don't need to know how the 5'9", 245 kicker coming out here, coming off the practice squad. What the fuck? That was the most hype you were the whole time, dude. That was the most hype you were. 245-pound practice squad kicker coming in here. Hasn't missed all year. Guess what happens? He fucking misses because Al fucking does the announcer jinx on him on top of calling him fat on TV. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, he's just looking for some representation for all the 5'9", 250 guys out there. There's a lot of, it's really funny. It's really funny. I enjoyed the part where he hasn't missed all year and then immediate miss. So, yeah. No, it was insane. It was real bad. It was probably his worst horrible, ever, of the year at least. So, yeah, we got to fix that because even Herb Street's not. He's all right.
Yeah, he's fine.
Good up there, So he's got.
I'll give him props, dude. Like, fuck, I don't know how he does all that shit, dude. It's hard for me to keep up with all that shit, and I'm just betting. I'm not looking at any of the linemen. I don't give a shit. I'm just looking at props, and I'm like, good on him, man. Good on him. Yeah, McVay. I mean, I saw McVay's post game, and that was pretty much just all about Puka and him doing his stupid shit like always. So, whatever. We will. Did you? I don't know if did you see that.
Yeah,
I'm like, why would you ask him about that, bro? Like, you
know
he hasn't been in the locker room yet. What the fuck?
They look so mad, too. Like, so mad. No, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Puka's been fine. He hasn't even been in the media at all. And then out of nowhere, this last week, he's just I don't know what happened, but yeah. Just stick to, well, I don't know. The dude's fucking awesome.
I know what you're going to say.
I mean, it's like, the dude's awesome. I don't want to say anything negative. Like, Puka out on the football field, that dude's sick, but that BYU education, it's not quite what Vanderbilt with Pavia, you're not quite getting top of the line stuff.
Put them in a room together for 30 minutes and see how many brain cells come out of that bad boy, right?
Yeah. No, he's definitely majoring in football over at Vanderbilt. So, probably lowest IQ that's ever maybe been in that school before. So,
oh shit, that's funny, dude. All right, let's get to some bets. That's what you guys are here for. We got 15 of you guys still in here live with us over on YouTube. Let's get this going. Stu's going to start us off with the first game here.
Sounds good. We're going to DK Metcalf over 23.5 longest reception, -115. Caesars, FanDuel, I believe one spot is 24.5, but I'd play to 24.5 as well. The logic here is pretty simple, man. I've been playing, just in general, pass catchers versus the Lions this year. That's kind of been a pretty profitable strategy in general. But for me, what I really like about this is kind of simple. Like, obviously, I can go into all the stats. The Lions allow the, most or highest average depth of targets to opposing quarterbacks, second in explosive plays over the last 7 weeks. Like, it's recent. It's bad. They play a ton of man coverage. They play a ton of single high coverage. I literally feel like I talk about this every single week. And it's so funny because the Lions have then played the best teams in football with backup cornerbacks, and they still play their style of defense, which I honestly respect to a certain extent. I don't know if it's smart, but it's like going out there and trusting your guys and mixed results. But it could have been a lot worse than it was. Well, they did lose last week pretty bad, but I don't know.
They were winning. They were winning.
Yeah, they were winning. They gave him a shot until Dan Campbell's second half. Let him call the plays in the first half, and then someone else step in the second half, because that was a winnable game right there. But either way, the point is they're staying extremely consistent in their defensive philosophy. And single high safety coverage, one-on-one man coverage, you got to kind of beat them downfield. And they're pretty good against short yardage stuff. They're actually very good against short yardage stuff. And where they specialize, they're both top 5 against 2 categories, right? Surprising that the Lions would be top 5 on defense against anything. Running backs, tight ends. What does that sound like with Pittsburgh? That sounds
everybody,
like
every person they
use, except DK Metcalf. Like, truly, that is exactly what they do. But this is the best coverage linebacker group in football. Anzalone, Campbell, Barnes, these guys can all cover. They're very good in space. It's very hard to get yards after catch in that short intermediate against them. And that's what this whole offense does. And once again, you're 7-point underdogs. You're projected to be trailing. It's a 52 total against Dan Campbell, who's calling plays like he's on crack. Pace. Let's go. He said, fuck Monty. I'm calling plays now. We're going Gibbs, baby. We're going fast. And I get why they're down Laporta. They're banged up. But man, it's just it's an interesting style of football. And I think all those things play into Metcalf's factor, because he's going to get one-on-one downfield opportunities against bad corners. At best, DJ Reed, but he's not really going to be shadowing. And we've been seeing DJ Reed getting torched by everyone.
Cool.
And here's the other problem with DJ Reed as well. He's 6 foot tall. That's the problem with all these corners. They got, I forget the guy, that Amik Robertson. We've been bullying
little guy who's on the podcast, bro.
Yeah, it's 5'8". He's the shortest corner in football, right? Like, what are you going to do? How are you guys going to stop DK Metcalf? Rocky Sin is the biggest corner they have, but obviously not very good as well. Like, I don't know. I don't see it. And the thing that concerns me, I'll go to the one negative here, is that Rodgers has surprisingly been bad against man coverage this year, which doesn't make a lot of sense. You'd expect a guy like him just to be good against man in general. But I think a lot of it's just because they're so check down zone oriented when they see those looks. Gainwell, Jonnu, Fryermuth, Washington, just get it over and over. And I think that pumps up his efficiency. But against a team that's not going to let you do that, against a team that you're probably going to be trailing against, what else is Rodgers going to do besides chuck it down the field? And then your competition is Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Adam Thielen. So I would hope Metcalf would be able to beat them out on it. Obviously, over in both of the games out of the bye week, he had a little argument with Arthur Smith after the Bills game before the bye week, which he talked about leading to some, productive results, and we've seen it so far. So I like it. I like Metcalf this week. Yards, touchdown, longest reception. I think DK Metcalf has a very nice game.
I love it. And the thing is, too, is Campbell calling these games, they get up early in the first half, and then their defense is so fucking tired, they get torched to hell in the second half. Like that Rams game, dude, their defense was horrible. It's because they were on the field the whole time, dude. You give me 1 3 and out, and your defense is out there after a minute break. Like, it's like I said. And honestly, do I even know if Dan Campbell's calling the first 15? Probably not. He's probably not even calling the first 15. The first 15 is probably scripted like every other team does in the beginning. And it's probably from everybody else in that offensive room too. So it's like, do I even trust that he even did those? So I'm fine with it. Keep doing it, Dan. I mean, I hope they keep losing. That's good for me. I don't care. I'm good with the Lions continuing to lose. So
yeah, their playoff chances are pretty low at this point for most projections.
Yeah, 45% or something, and they were like 80 2 weeks ago. So yeah, definitely like it. I'll get through mine, and then we got a lot of questions to get to. I'm seeing a lot of you guys in there, which is awesome. And I'm going to 2 old reliables. Obviously, one of them is Mr. Reliable, and that's Mr. Dak Prescott. I'm getting a really nice number here. I know he's playing the Chargers, tougher matchup. But we have Dak this year has hit this in every game but 2. One of them was the first game of the season against the Eagles. Tough spot in Philly. Other one is in Denver. Those are his 2 misses on 220. So, I mean, they've had a lot of other tough matchups throughout the year. And obviously he's been very, very reliable in a lot of these games. And it honestly hasn't really mattered the game script. And obviously I'm going to be invested in Dak all the way through the rest of the year. They play Washington next week. I need a couple more big games after Stafford put up almost 5 bills on them. So I need him to catch him. I need him to get back in there. I think he's like 200, 220 away. So I think that this is another game I'm expecting from Dak to, kind of make something happen here. Still don't know why I had to get an underdog tweet about him playing the rest of the year. Well, I just assumed he was playing the rest of the year. I mean, he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, I mean, he could put up some big numbers here. He's at almost 4,000 yards with 2 games to go. I mean, he's doing very, very well so far. I'm pretty sure he already hit his season-long prop already. It was like 3,700. He's already over that with 2 games left. So shout out Dak, man of the people. Obviously respects the money. I'm going to Burrow as well. We get to get him back with T. Higgins. We got both him, Chase, and Higgins back all playing in Miami. Against a Miami team that has been better against the run than I was expecting. Obviously, that's to do with the GOAT, Jordan Brooks, doing his thing. Probably going to bet him again. That's going to probably just quick heads up. I'm probably betting him. And also, I did want to make sure I put in there, too, is from your game. I'm fucking for sure betting Jack Campbell. If they're going to give me 8.5 or 9.5, for sure betting Jack Campbell tackle props because that dude's a fucking wizard, too. So just had to get that in there while we're here on the show. But I'm going to be going to Burrow here again. Chase Brown's been really good out of the backfield. I think he had like 4 or 5 catches last week again, giving him that opportunity too. So sign me up. We do have Gesicki in there that can maybe get me 1 or 2, but obviously Rhodes going down with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. All of them have props up. I know he was close to playing last week, and now he should be ready to go and cleared there. So I think you just hear enough shit in the media that you're just like, okay, I'm just going to go out and just ball out on this team, dude. I'm just going to go cook these guys. So you get a best weather you can get at this point in the season, 79 degrees and sunny out there in Miami. So sign me up for Joey B and Dak. I know they're both eliminated, but I'm going there.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, obviously 2 guys that have done very well and have very high floors, and that's kind of what you want for these kind of parlays. I think I told you my only problem is I just don't really like teams that are, ruled out or like just not playing for much anymore, Like that's the thing that kind of scares me a bit. Just in general, both of these teams, kind of done for the year. Burrow looking all mopey in his press conference and stuff like that. Like just the little stuff like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing for money, you're playing for pride. And I guess money, most importantly, honestly, for a lot of these guys. And, they're not just going to roll over. They're going to go out there and try to, hurt another team's season. So, very high floors on both of them. And obviously Dak has not really done you any wrong this year so far.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely will have to look into the incentive stuff because obviously like 4,500 for Dak is definitely in the cards going forward. And I know someone mentioned another one in here. I think it was Paul brought it up here with McMillan and Dowdle there to get incentives because that's going to be all next week. I know that we're going to be, getting a lot of that stuff going forward here, but
yeah, I gotta drop my little disclaimer here of like Dowdle is playing in the biggest game of their year, one of them, right? To decide who's winning this division. They don't give a fuck about his $750,000. Like they don't give a fuck. So if they don't care in the game, when they're making the game plan, like for teams that are out of it, for the obvious cases, incentives matter, but also they're now posted every year by DraftKings, by Underdog as well. The sports books, the people that are making these lines are very well aware and in fact more aware than your average person of these incentives. So I would be very cautious as you read the Joe Holkas and the Sal Vetris of the world that these guys used to be, solid contributors 5-6 years ago and now just post garbage slop content that is made to mislead people. You know what I mean? Because when you see stuff like this, you go, oh, the incentive, this is a big deal. It's like, yeah, we got multiple weeks of football left. And we got huge games going on. Just like people were saying Sam Darnold needs to have so-and-so yards per game, so we should bet Sam Darnold. It's like they're trying to win the fucking division. Like they're not just going to call plays for him to get another 150K. These guys are multi-millionaires. So that's my little soapbox there. Definitely be careful with the incentive stuff. It's all for engagement. It's not to help bettors. It is just to make money. They're not trying to help you. And the sports books are very aware of this. And I'm sure, DraftKings already posted them all last year on their official account. So it's not the sneaky hidden edge it was when, Gronkowski needed his 5 catches and all of us got to, easily bet that and make a ton of money. It's that the world is caught up now. That's my little 2 cents on that right there.
Yeah, Stu will be on the soapbox next week too. So just he's giving you his preview. He's giving you his preview right now. But mind you, he will be on it because it will come up. And I know it might not be from the guys that are in here right now, but it will come up going forward there. So I'm taking a look. We got a lot of people in here. TNF was sitting. I'm going through the top now. We got yeah. Hey, we appreciate all you guys popping in. Obviously, appreciate all you guys joining us as always. I'm checking out Panthers as a home dog. We love to see it. Thoughts on Titans this week, Stu? I don't even know who the fuck they're playing. Who are they playing?
That's the Gardner Minshew Bowl, right? Titans versus Chiefs.
God, I'm good with not playing that game.
Because that's the king. That's one of those games that I have really been like, because I want to play Travis Kelce. Because Minshew came in and threw to like 3 of his 5 passes were all to Kelce. He's like tight ends in the past, but I'm like, damn. Do I want to bet Kelce on the given up Chiefs where he's full-time podcasting, halftime footballing right now? Like, I don't know. So that whole game is just I've seen actually a lot of smart people bet both sides of it, which is also a little bit concerning. I would say the people I respect seem to lean a little bit more towards the Titans side. So if you want to bet the Titans, good luck. There's some smart people with you, but I will not be betting either side of that game because who knows? Like, I agree. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to do much because Mahomes was everything and they can't run the ball and they have no O-line. So they're still not going to be able to run the ball even when they try to. So what's the game plan? I don't know. But on the Titans side, I mean, I don't want to bet on these guys either, so we'll just stay on the sideline,
How many games in a row can Tony Pollard break up a 40-yard run? Like,
Yeah.
he's going for 3 in a row this week. So,
I need a couple more touchdowns from him. I bet a small touchdown ladder in the beginning of the year on him, but he just did like nothing early. I'm curious what he's at right now.
Well, I don't think they scored touchdowns in any of those games.
Okay, I have 5.5, and he has 5 right now. So we need one more from Tony Pollard before this year ends. So let's sneak in there, buddy. Okay, now's the time against the Gardner.
He might not even play the last week with them trying to get Tajay the ball a little bit more there too.
There's no
get him one.
There's no that he doesn't matter anymore, unfortunately. But
I love that guy too.
It might split, but I think the Tajay, it might see fucking Julius Chestnut. Or who's that other guy? Then the forgotten Michigan running back, Mullins.
No idea.
Mullins. He was Michigan's primary running back last year, and now he's on the Titans. Who is the Michigan running back last year or 2 years ago, or in the split with Cora? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. They've got him. He had 1 carry last week, so he might play more as well. Restrepo. It's the end of the year. They're putting in all the random guys, so. Yeah, no opinion on that game, really. It might be funny to just tune in and watch a little. Like, I probably will have a little small screen of it up somewhere, but yeah, I do not want to bet. Oh, Mullings. There we go. Mullings. Okay. Yeah, he did I believe he got a touch last week, so he could maybe, if his long shot touchdown's like 20-1 or something, maybe I'll bet that, but I don't know. Oh my God, it's 45-1. Okay, baby, we got a long shot on our hands.
45-1.
I mean, I would not put more than $5 on this, but
hey, well, honestly, dude, you're probably feeling pretty good because 99% of the time you might not even get in the game and you get your money back.
Exactly, 100%, 100%. 45-1 is crazy. You're probably not going to be active, I guess, but I'm going to take that.
Can we trust Aaron Jones' rush yards versus this Giants team? I mean, the season's over for the Vikings, obviously. I don't know. What do you think? We got Jordan Mason in there, still getting a decent amount of carries, and he's good, dude. Jordan Mason's phenomenal in his opportunities here. So, what are your thoughts on that? And obviously, Wandale being in a spot where you get the heavy blitzing Minnesota side, you get those little dump downs. I don't know. I think Jackson Dart might run the ball 25 times to just see if he can get a concussion again.
I mean, I'm just worried about, like you said, about Mason. Like, they split fairly evenly, and Jones is a veteran. Like, how much volume does he need down the year? Like, I don't know. For me, it's just, you're right, the Giants do have a horrible rush defense, but also they're not great against running backs out of the passing game either, and Jones can beat you there. So if you bet rush yards and he gets that 25-yard catch or something, you might not be feeling as good. So just, enough scary things. I do like it because it's a great matchup. Like, I think Jones has a solid game. I'd probably look more like an alt line, honestly. Maybe bring it down a little bit. So, like, I'd want to bet Aaron Jones if I thought he could go over in like the first half or the first 3 quarters. You know what I mean? I'm a little scared of the Giants in this one in general. What's his name? Dart is bad versus the blitz and worse versus too high. That's what Miami is going to do to you. Wandale gets an upgrade in target share against the blitz, but his production hasn't been amazing, like in terms of yardage and stuff. So maybe Wandale receptions would make logical sense to me. But yeah, I don't have that game is tough. I mean, it's just tough. I might even like Mason a little bit more, but I have to dive into the splits a little bit deeper, honestly.
Awesome. Let's get a quick recap here, Stu, and then we'll get rolling.
Sounds good. We got DK Metcalf over 23.5, longest reception, -115 Caesars. I'd play it to 24.5.
Awesome. And I'll be rolling with Burrow and Dak Prescott both to record 220 passing yards on DraftKings at -110. Stu, any long shot for you heading into this week as we get this thing rolling?
Yeah, I was just trying to think about that. I like 2 Washington guys, so I haven't done super deep into the long shot stuff, but let me see what the best price is on if there's anything good here. Let's see, because the Washington game, I don't know if I'm going to have a lot of bets on it, just because I think the Eagles win. I think they win kind of comfortably. But man, like Washington's got to pass the ball at least a little bit in this. And I would think with the season kind of over, like the young guys might get a little bit more interested or ingrained. Ben Sinnott is one guy. I cashed his long shot last week, but I actually want to go to a different guy. I'm trying to freaking find his line right now. I want to go to Jalen Lane for Washington. I'm going to take 25 plus receiving yards at plus 300 over on DraftKings right now. Jalen Lane is lined at 10.5, and I might bet that. I'm still trying to make up my mind if I want to do that. I don't think Lane is like a great wide receiver necessarily. He's been a little bit hit or miss at times so far this year, but he played last week. There is no Noah Brown. Noah Brown's been ruled out for the rest of the season. And when you think of Philly, right, you got Quinyon Mitchell, who's probably going to shadow Terry McLaurin because Terry McLaurin doesn't move sides of the field. Like, that's the Cliff thing that kills me, is he doesn't scheme up looks for his wide receivers. He just says you have to go out and beat them. And I do think Terry can beat Mitchell one-on-one down the field in jump ball situations. I think he can beat anyone in those. He beat Patrick Surtain in them, had one of the best games against Surtain in his first game off the IR of any wide receiver in a while. But then you got Deebo Samuel, right, who's going to see Cooper DeJean, who's been awesome in the slot. And then who's the cornerback 3? That's been the biggest fucking target all year. Dory Jackson. That's who we're going after. We're going after those dudes. Whoever is not DeJean or Mitchell. And Lane should be theoretically getting that matchup a decent amount at the time. And Lane is fast, and he goes down the field. He is not really a short yardage slot guy. He is a vertical slot guy. So for me, I like Jalen Lane, and I like Ben Sinnott as the young guys that I think will be stepping up. But yeah, Jalen Lane just a little bit underpriced right now.
What was the long shot you wanted? What was the price?
Plus 300. Plus 300.
For what was it? 25?
Yeah, 25 receiving yards. And then Tyrone asked, how much is Terry going to still play? They're going to full throttle. Honestly, that's part of the handicap here as well. It's like, I think the Eagles are going to be winning. If you're up at halftime, if you're up by a decent amount in the third quarter, I mean, how much is Terry really going to play in the second half? So I'm fully with you. I think he's going to see – there's at least a possibility of less snaps. And obviously no Noah Brown, no – I believe Luke McCaffrey's out for the year, but he shouldn't be back this week. So just, not really much competition there besides the tight ends.
Yes, sir. Talking about that, obviously all tight end game for the Lion or for the Bears here. I will not put any dollar amount on DJ Moore. The dude fucking sucks. The dude sucks. Unless you're taking doing the anti-correlation, 5 catches, 20 yards, under 20 yards. I take that. 6 catches, under 25 yards.
I mean, I just like the running backs in that game. That's who I'd go to. I don't know if I need to be betting. I mean, Burden's my guy. I've been saying all year. I think he's the best wide receiver on that team. But he's not playing. So unfortunate, unfortunate. So, I mean, yeah, I think it'll be running backs and tight ends. But the tight end lines are high as fuck, and it's not a great matchup. So back to the running backs.
Yeah, and I just watched DJ Moore. I started him against the Packers last time, and he got fucking 0.3. So he could suck one. So it's horrible. Yeah, I would do if I were to do a long shot, I would need the tackle assist. I go to DraftKings and take Cooper 10. That's all I would do for that Saturday one, because I'm not getting my tackle props till Sunday morning for the Sunday game. So at least tomorrow I should get the Edgerrin Cooper ones there, though. But that's a perfect game for Edgerrin Cooper, bro. For Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker, that's perfect game for them. Is that Bears type of game? So, Sue, anything else for the people here? We got 25 of them still in here live with us over on YouTube. What is anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I mean, not really. Obviously, good week here so far. I'm excited to keep it going. I think we had a great slate. Saturday games throws me off always. That's a little annoying, I guess. But, excited for the weekend. A lot of good football. And, yeah, just ready to keep up the momentum. People still have questions. Feel free to DM, drop them below. leave a like while you're there. All that good stuff helps out the algorithm. And, we just like talking about football. So obviously, if you got a question, we'll answer it. That's what we do. So, yeah, excited for the week. Like the bets. Let's cash a couple more tickets. Why not?
Yes, sir. We got a loaded Saturday college basketball slate tomorrow as well. So it's going to be tough for me to do that too, along with this. And
football, that's what people are talking about, right? We got football now. It's big time season,
I'm not betting the playoff games, bro. I'll be very light on those. Lines just move so much right away, and then it's like they're fucking sharp, man. Like they're ridiculously sharp. The only thing I will say is like if like you see a team jump out on someone, then just fucking live bet. I feel like live betting these games are the way to go on these college football ones. Yeah. Like Kennesaw State, I bet on this game this morning. They're up. The Western Michigan was up 28-0 in the first quarter, and I just live bet the under at 65.5. And it's like, oh, and the books were not that far off on the regular line. Like the regular line for the over was like 45.5, and it ended up being like 51. But these teams, they got a good script to start out games. Obviously, a fumble return for a touchdown will obviously blow up your under if you have it. But there's just like I feel like that's how I would do all those college games, those college football games. So, I'm
gonna dive in for some props. I don't really bet the totals or the game that much, but I'm gonna look.
No, I guess I only live for me for those. But,
do you have an opinion on Bama tonight or that game? That's obviously the one everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I just don't know how healthy both quarterbacks are. That's kind of the tough part.
Agreed.
So why would I want to put my money on that? Like I got 5 NBA games tonight. I got decent college basketball stuff.
That's
tonight.
true.
Like,
why bet college football playoffs when you can bet on the Wizards, right? Why would one?
Why would I not want to bet on fucking Tyson for the fucking Cleveland Cavaliers? Like, give me some of these dudes that are coming off. They're going to shoot the ball 25 times. Like Donovan Mitchell might not play tonight, dude. You know how many fucking ugly ass players you're going to take tonight, Stu? Like this is like a slate for you.
I'll be watching your Telegram. I'll be paying attention.
Oh yeah,
I'll say to answer his question, I like Oklahoma, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's my dumb opinion. I'm going to deep dive it in a little bit and maybe get some smart opinions. And if not, then maybe still Oklahoma.
I don't know how I can do it when there's a total of 40.5. Like that's fucking low, dude. Yeah. At this point in college football, like that's fucking low. So it's like defensive battle. Do I want to put my money? I would put my money. If I had to put my money on a defense, I'm putting it on Bama's defense over Oklahoma's defense. Mm-hmm. So, like, if the books are going to tell me that it's going to be like that, I probably would lean a little bit more towards Bama, just because I trust their defense a little bit more than Oklahoma. And they're playing SEC talent every week. So, just kind of the way I would lean to it when I'm looking at a college football game with a 40 total. That is pushing fucking Army Navy, bro. Type of total in a college football playoff. So just my two cents on that one, but that's very low. So all right, I appreciate you guys for popping in. Obviously the show's been doing very, very well. Hopefully we can continue rolling. Hopefully we can keep everything going here these next couple of days. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck, and we will catch you next week.